Guys, welcome back to the channel. I just recorded a different reading and it was a full moon reading. And I was sitting here and I feel like there's more message that wants to come out. There's more that's there. And there's more that is really present for you guys that you're wanting to know about. And I said, okay, what do you guys want to know about? And they were like, do a love reading. And I don't typically do a reading geared towards love or money or jobs or anything specifically. I just talk about what's most present. But this one is going to be a love reading because that one is what's most present. So when I say love, it means relationships, romantic relationships. It could be friendships too. There may be a little bit of it's very nuanced. Just take it however it resonates for you. But for a lot of you, you're wanting to know, like, what about my love life? And the song that's on right now, I've got my radio on. If you don't know, I get messages from my music as well. And the song that's on is Fleetwood Mac, You Can Go Your Own Way. And there's something to be said for being on your own, by being single for a little while. That's kind of the first message that's there. That embracing the energy of your freedom, and not that being in a relationship has to be binding, and it shouldn't be binding, but recognizing the energy of being single and really just having responsibility for yourself and really getting to know yourself. Tune into that energy, because whatever relationship it is that's coming in for you is that same feeling. There is no binding to the relationship. There is no losing yourself in the relationship. This one coming in is more about fostering who you are as an individual and who they are as an individual too. So being on your own and embracing it and understanding and really getting to know yourself, dating yourself, really, is what's actually going to call this other person in a healthier way. Today is March 18th, so if that resonates with you, you might also want to go back to the full moon reading that I posted and watch that too, because it's giving you a little bit of advice about how to move more into the energy of knowing yourself, getting to know all the parts of yourself, releasing things and people and situations that aren't serving you anymore in order to open your field up for new connections and new relationships coming in. Okay? Do me a favor now too, right at this point in the video, if you are resonating with me, just hit like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and help support the channel. If you don't like the video, go back and unlike it later, but hit the like button right now and help me out. Okay? All right, let's talk about relationship. What is it that we need to talk about? All right, it feels like there's some sort of block to the way that you're shifting into to allowing this change to come in. There's a change that needs to be made. There's a change that needs to be made, and you're resisting change. That's what I'm hearing. Very, with a little bit of old stubbornness, there's this resistance to changing your perception or changing. It's like, well, I don't need to change. I'm perfect. There's nothing about me that needs to change. And that's not necessarily what it is. You don't need to be fixed. You need to shift into you, who you are, because you've been layered over by what everybody else thought you should be, and you've actually crafted yourself and adapted yourself to different relationships and molded yourself to what you thought that was acceptable to them, and you've lost a little bit of the expression of the truth of who you are. And so that needs to be expressed. So don't resist changing into that part of you. There's a fear of rejection there, that if you are you, that there are going to be certain people who reject you. But the fear of that needs to be moved out of the way, because you're actually holding yourself back from those that do accept you. And that relationship that you're looking for, that is looking for that aspect of you that other people reject. Other people are not in alignment with those things about you. And it's okay. They just are not in alignment with that vibration of you. Maybe that fire inside of you, maybe that passionate drive that you have, and that really, like, I just heard cute way of getting all fired up, and when you're passionate about something or whatever it is. that maybe is rejected by other people, but it is embraced. And you love that about yourself. And it's embraced by this person that's coming in. You have to become that. Don't resist the change of that, because in the past, you were shamed or guilted for being that aspect of you. There may have been an element of too much fire at some point that needed to be kind of, I hear reined in, but it's not necessarily, I mean, I guess it is reined in. It's about mastering it, mastering that energy and putting it to good use and applying that energy and effort in places where it's embraced and it can be in a creative way or in a creative outlet or put towards relationships that that are seeking that kind of fuel. If you are trying to apply that fire inside of you to places where there's resistance to that kind of fire, then in you it becomes force and it turns over into distortion because you're wanting to accept that side of yourself, but other people are telling you that side of yourself is not acceptable. When you go over the edge, then it is not acceptable to project or whatever it is. But the aspect of that inside of you before it becomes distorted is really valuable and beautiful. It's a beautiful part of you. It may feel intimidating to certain people, but there may be other people who are wanting to embrace that and help you foster that and master that in a way that serves everyone around you. Okay, so embrace that part of yourself. Don't be afraid to adapt and change. Change is the only constant. So as you change, your relationships and your life changes too. If you're wanting to change from being single to having a partner, and you want it to be this ideal partner, there's something inside of you that needs to shift to embrace this new thing coming in. Yes, 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 yes. This reminds me too of like with this rainbow down here at the bottom. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day and everybody was posting these pictures of it was raining and of these beautiful rainbows, double rainbows that were out. It's this removal of the stuck energy. This in reverse is really beautiful. This is a time of when you can embrace change as the only thing that keeps moving and be flowing and adaptable to all situations and to who you're becoming, and release who you were as you go along. Ooh, like sky's the limit for this. This feels like, oh, that's funny. In the front of this card, I can't read what it says on the very front there, but my very first, when I first looked at it, it said Dad, D-A-D. It's like releasing the energy of the father wound. All your relationships in the past, father wound or mother wound, it depends, it can be for anybody that's watching, it could be male, female, whatever it is. But even for the female, usually if you are connected with a male, they will reflect the masculine that you are used to in your life. And that usually is the reflection of your father wound. Or it could be a reflection of your mother wound too, if your mother was in very masculine energy too. And for the masculine, sometimes all your relationships tend to reflect your relationship with your mother. So it's like the release of this father wound, changing the way that you view relationships is what is going to unstuck you. But it feels like as soon as you embrace this change, and this is the number 5 card right here. They're just pointing out the number 5 to me, and they don't usually give me timelines or anything, but I'm hearing the 5th month. So it could be in 5 weeks or in the 5th month. I don't know if that probably is the same thing though, because right now is the end of March. Yeah, that's about May. So that's almost a confirmation right there though, that it's 5 weeks in the 5th month. Right around that time is when you're really going to feel the flow of this like beautiful rainbow energy and harmony and connection. So it may be that your connection, your relationship, is starting to make its way towards you and will kind of burst through. I just see the energy of spring too. In May. So you can feel the energy of that now. You can feel when you embrace this change, The reason that there is this resistance to this relationship coming in right now is because you can't even imagine it or envision it or feel it, because it's nothing like what you were used to before. It's nothing like that, because that's the release of the old. That was all your relationships before, were this connection to a distorted energy. It's not like that anymore. And so you have to allow yourself to adapt and start to transform into this new version of you. Watch my full moon reading too, because there's something that you're resisting seeing about yourself and your role, the role that you played in the distortions in those relationships, that you need to face and that you need to own and you need to take responsibility for. Because if you don't take responsibility for those aspects of you that you were in those relationships, you're abandoning yourself. You're abandoning a part of yourself that's crying out for help. Once you give attention to that and understand why you did those things, you can release the reason that you did those things, the father wound, the mother wound, and move into healthier energy. And healthier, really solid, it's like you're always trying to prove yourself so that they don't leave. You're always trying to prove that you're worthy of their love and you are able to adapt and change to what they think you should be. And that's all because, that's you trying to prove yourself to one of your parents or whatever. And that's not the way anymore. You need to be you. You need to be authentically you and be free to be that. This relationship coming in is that harmonious kind of union. It is. But you have to become that first. So this time period of you being single, you figuring out who you are and really tuning, not even figuring it out anymore, removing those thoughts, removing those old belief systems and just being who you are. And whoever doesn't resonate with the depth of who you are coming from your beautiful heart, they will move out of your field. They're going to move out of the way and create this beautiful rainbow path for those that are aligned with you to move their way in. I'm seeing friendships and love relationships and work opportunity. Yes, soulmates. If you're on the twin flame journey, your twin flame coming in. Your true twin, a shift in the relationship with your twin now. Soulmates, really, like the most comfortable relationship you have ever been in your life, where it's just ease and it feels like being home because you have established that feeling inside of yourself, and so have they. They know who they are because they have taken the time to do the inner work. They do the inner work. They witness and they are self-aware. And that is the most important aspect of you. Self-awareness. That's how you draw them in. This is like, I just saw something the other day, I can't remember who said it, maybe it was the Dalai Lama or something, about if you feel this immediate, magnetic, intense, impulsive connection with someone, and it makes your knees go weak, and it makes you sweat, and it makes you tongue-tied, and all of that, that's not your person. If when you meet them, you feel calm, you feel at ease, you feel at peace, you feel just like you did just before you met them. The song that's on right now is Hallelujah. Like you just stepped into the warm sunshine. And all you want to do is sit there and bask. That's your person. That's what this person feels like. I just hear hallelujah, hallelujah. George Harrison. My sweet Lord. It's like the energy of God. This is a divine partnership. This is your divine partnership coming in. Okay? Gear up for it. Find your footing is what I hear. Thank you. For some of you, this is someone from the past. This is someone from the past, and it's like this restart. There's this contract that's been removed from your attachment with each other, and this feeling of home is coming back, but it's like this reimagined, completely different home. For some of you. For others of you, it's going to feel like the energy of someone that you knew from the past. It's going to feel like a compilation, is that a word? Compilation of many different people that you've been with, but with the aspect of just like awareness is what I'm hearing too. It's like you know them already. So again, for some of you, it could be this a past life partner too that has come in because the doorway, look at the beautiful sunshine on there. The doorway has been opened for that. But it's coming out underneath of this transformation card too. And so in reverse. So you need to really work on embracing this change, changing the way that you look at yourself, changing the way you talk to yourself, changing the way that you talk about your old partners too. And if there's still some blame that's coming at them, there's something in you that you are feeling guilty about, that you are not liking, that you are rejecting, and you're actually bringing attention to that. And it's going to manifest another one of those people to mirror that to you. And it's about really flowing with change, understanding how to flow with change. You're needing to do that first. That way it can shift into this really beautiful brand new beginning. If it is somebody from the past, if it's a past partnership, this may also be a message about the fact that in order to create this change, someone is going to come back from the past that you knew before, and it is not this new partner coming in. They're showing you that old pattern in you that you're resisting changing, and it's an opportunity for you to make a different choice, for you to set the boundaries that you didn't set before. That it's a really beautiful learning experience in order to be the change. That's funny. Be the change. To be the change that you want to see in your relationships, to be the change that you want to see in your world. It feels like there's going to be somebody that comes in to mirror that to you. So these are a couple different messages. Just take whatever resonates for you. Okay, I'm just going to pull one more. All right, can I have one more with a message from this person coming in? You don't need help. Professional assistance in reverse. I'm just listening to the song that's on. Have pity, baby, on a poor girl like me. There is nothing more that you need to heal. It's just about expanding and changing and allowing yourself the excitement of change. And it's like I say he, but it could be a she. He's telling you, you're not crazy. You're not going crazy. You're not going crazy. That's funny. You're not going crazy. He feels the same things that you do. And it's about mastering your thoughts and bringing the energy from out of your head and into your heart. You're not crazy. It may feel like you're going crazy right now, but he's showing me that what's making you feel crazy is being in your head and trying to figure it all out instead of feeling it out. There's resistance to feeling. And this person coming in is going to reflect in you your ability to feel so, so, so deeply. And they feel very deeply too. This is deep intimacy. And you can't access the energy of that unless you allow yourself to feel all the feels. And so when it feels like you're going crazy and you're all up in your head and everything, that's resistance. It's the energy of feeling, and it's so intense that you try to figure it out and you try to attach something to it and you try to logic your way. That's the programming of the world. They want to try to figure everything out instead of feeling and sensing it out. It's resistance that shoves all that energy up into your head. Fun, dancing, moving your body is really going to help to release that monkey mind and those thoughts in your brain. You are not, I just keep hearing, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. I'm going to get one more card too. You're not crazy. You're passionate. You're emotional, and it's really beautiful. There's just this element of combining your head and your heart, that there's a higher heart kind of balance that needs to happen. It's okay. It's okay what you're going through. There just needs to be some kind of movement of that energy and speaking it out, moving the energy in some kind of way. I'm seeing this like expression, the way that I'm talking now, this expression of the energy in order to get it out, but doing it in a healthy way. Breath, exercise. You don't need help. Stop thinking that you're so different than everybody else. You're just different from the people who have surrounded you your whole life. And they had a purpose in crafting whatever it was that they needed to help you to craft, but it's time to release that. It really is time to release that, because that's what confuses you too, is other people's belief systems and other people's opinions of who you should or shouldn't be. You know who you are. You know who you are, and they love who you are underneath of all of these programs. And I mean, even as you are right now, it's like they can see you. They just see you and accept you exactly who you are. Just know that they're there. This time period of being single and finding yourself is really, really, really supported by the fact that they're there. You can feel them there. They're sitting there on the horizon, waiting patiently. Oh, that's funny. This one came out in the new or in the full moon reading that I was just talking about. Family, friends, and guides. It's almost like you're resisting when you're in your head in this way, like I'm talking about. Resisting feeling them there. There are friends and family in your life who are emotionally detached, who have a hard time with intimacy, who have a hard time allowing themselves to feel deeply. And it's the imprint of them that and their resistance to that, or their need to be not quite as deep. They're just a little bit more of a shallow feeling person, and that's okay for them. That's okay. But them trying to remove your depth because your depth makes them uncomfortable, they don't resonate with it, making it seem as if it was wrong to be that way. Those people are going to be removed from your field in order for you to really embrace the full depth of who you are. And this person is that too. They love your depth. They love your fire. They love all of that. And they love the lightheartedness too that comes with the freedom of being whatever it is that you are. 1 minute you're laughing and running around on the beach and jumping on each other in that way underneath of rainbows and beautiful things going on. And the next minute you're deep and you're having this profound conversation. And then the next minute, you're like splashing each other with water or something like that. It's like this freedom to flow in and out of whatever is present. It's that kind of connection and relationship. And it does feel to me too like there are friends that are coming in that are that exact same way. So during this time period where you're not in a romantic partnership, you're creating these energetic partnerships with other people in your life too. So friendships, coworkers, even with your job, there is this free flowing, you are attracting in the opportunities in work that allow you and where you can thrive in the energy of all of these things that were rejected before. Oh my gosh, you can be my 4-leaf clover. Starting over. So for some of you, this is somebody from the past, and it is the reboot. It's like starting a completely new relationship. If you can recognize those things in yourself that applied that distortion or abandoned yourself or didn't create boundaries or whatever it is. Echo, what song is this? Yeah, it is called Starting Over by Chris Stapleton. This is your starting over point. This is like a whole new you. This is a whole new life that's getting ready to start, a whole new kind of relationship. This is like one of the most beautiful relationship readings I've done in a really long time. This is like union, harmonious union kind of energy. And it starts inside of you. So embrace this time period where you are finding yourself, and just know that they're there. Just know that they're there. You don't need to look for them. You don't need to go searching. You don't need to just search for yourself. Just find yourself. Find those other aspects of yourself, and you're adding that to your vibrational vortex, your vibrational field. And you're calling them in closer and closer and closer. You're just getting ready to be ready to be ready. Any other relationship that you were in before this, you went in before you were ready for a deeply intimate relationship. And it created all of this resistance and all of this, the blocks to love, blocks to resistance. But all of those are falling away. And you're not quite ready yet. That is number one. You're not quite ready yet, but you're getting ready to be ready. And they're not either. You don't want somebody to come into your field and to be in a partnership with you if they're not ready either. It doesn't feel like much time. Obviously, I was talking about the time period. So for those of you that resonate with this, really embrace this spring and this rebirth and this awakening into the beauty of you before this kind of partnership comes in. And embrace the other partnerships that are ready to come in. There are friendships and work opportunities that are trying to come in that you are ready for. Have patience with yourself too as you adapt to as things change. Your pace is going to be different than everybody else's pace in this transformation and this change. So the way that you transmute through energies and the way that you adapt to each of these new changes that comes in is going to be different than everybody else. Don't judge yourself against anybody else. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Your journey is what it is meant to be, and embrace it. Embrace it for all that it is. And eventually that change is going to get easier and easier and easier. Okay? All right, guys. If you're interested in a private reading, all my information is down in the box below. I love you guys so much. Talk to you soon.